Hey, my beautiful people. It's Kim Love Jones here, certified relationship coach. And I wanted to get on this afternoon. I'm kind of continuing to follow what I did in April. Um, I'm going to show up here every day, even if it's for 15 minutes to the best of my ability. I wasn't on over the weekend and Friday and Thursday and Friday because one of my good friends lost her dad, and she's like a little sister to me. And I had to be there to support her. So all week, I was trying to be on here and trying to go and support her and love on her and her family and be there in whatever supportive capacity I could be there for them because, you know, friendships is not something that I take lightly. I absolutely love and adore my friends. I love who they are. I love how they show up. You know, let me send this here. Hold on, y'all. I am I gotta cut my phone down. And as a matter of fact, let me put on my do not disturb while I'm here. But yeah, so I literally was there in supporting her because she needed support, and I love her with all of my heart, and so I wasn't going to leave her to deal with any of that by herself. I'm going to support my sister in any way that I can. And so this morning I got up really early and I decided that I was going to do something for me. And I got up and I went to the gym and I worked out, and I feel absolutely amazing. And if y'all watch this on the replay, just hashtag replay for me. The topic that I want to discuss today is honoring yourself. I want to talk about that because I think that for too long we have been playing small. For too long, we have been accepting whatever scraps people have wanted to give us off of their table. For too long, we have been, you know, not loving ourselves fully and out loud. For too long, we've been hiding who we are and not in touch with what we need for too long. Um, I've been on this trajectory every day. I've been talking about things like self sabotage. I've been talking about healing. I've been talking about honoring yourself. I've been talking about not climbing mountains for people who wouldn't jump over a puddle for you. I've been talking about alignment and getting ourselves together and showing up full out for for yourself authentically, being unapologetic about who you are and where you are, right? In your life, because everybody's not in the same place. And we've all made some horrible mistakes. We've all chosen people who didn't have the capacity to love us. Both men and women have done this. We've all been through something that makes us, have these different heartaches, right? We've grieved relationships, we've grieved friendships, we've been through some things. And so I wanted to jump on to just say to you today that May is the month of manifestation. Um, It is five. It is the fifth month. Today just happens to be the fifth day of the month. And in some cultures, they say Cinco de Mayo. So I guess it's happy Cinco de Mayo, right? But from the biblical perspective, it is God's mercy and his grace towards us. It is having favor in the eyes of God, right? And so I kind of want to talk about the fact that you've been preparing You've been praying. You've been waiting for your prayers to be answered. And a lot of times we get off, we can find ourselves in a real way falling off and not being where it is that we know that we want to be. I see you watching. Say hello, say hello. Um, a lot of times we don't get to where it is that we want to be because we will default to old behaviors. We don't understand all the time about God's mercy and his grace towards us and how he's working things out for us even right now, right? And I think the idea behind all of this is not just to be hearers of the word, but to be also doers of the word, right? And so when I think about that and I think about what that really means and the fullness of what it means learning to honor you because you are the caretaker of your temple. You are all that you really have. I mean, friends and family are nice, but you can't pour from an empty cup. And if we are going to manifest the things that we've prayed for, if they're going to come to pass, it also begins with you honoring who you are and where you are. It begins with being honest about how you really feel. It begins by not allowing people in your life who are not going to honor you and you want to just climb a mountain for them, but they won't even jump over a puddle for you. We're not doing that anymore. I said at the beginning of 2025, I said we're not doing that in 2025. What we're doing is we are going to honor ourselves in 2025. We're going to do the things that we need to do for us. We're going to tap into that, right? We're going to tap into loving ourselves. We're going to tap into becoming a better version of ourselves. We're going to deal with people kind of the way that I don't want to say match an energy, but if it doesn't align with the goal and the vision that you have for your life, sometimes we got to let that thing go. We just got to let it go, right? Say hello, say hello. I see you watching, right? So if I'm going to honor myself, honoring myself looks like doing what, number one, what I said I was going to do, right? I said, Kim, you're going to get up and you're going to the gym this morning. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. That's one thing. Kim, you're not going to be around people who don't honor you because you honor you. So I did that. Right? Hi, Robert. How are you? Right? You're not gonna, you're gonna just take one thing, just one, and you're going to work on that one thing until you master that one thing, right? You're not going to try to do too much, but you're going to operate in a way that you're walking towards what you've been praying for. And if we are going to manifest the life that we want through prayer, then we're going to have to change the way that we've been doing business, you see. So if a person doesn't treat you right, I'm not saying don't ever talk to them again. What I'm saying is we're going to pray for them and we're going to kind of, slide on out the way, because the truth is that we don't want to be bothered with people we would climb a mountain for, but they wouldn't even cross a puddle for us. And I'm not saying, hi, Nene, I see you, baby. I see you, my sugar. That's my little sis right there, all the way from Texas. That's right, from good old Dallas, Texas. I see you, right? We're going to start operating in the things that we said that we really want so that we can grow, so that we can become, right? And I realized that not everybody understands that your behavior is very telling. It's what you do. It's what you do, right? On a daily basis that shows up in your life, if that makes any sense. Like if you say you're going to do a thing, then you do the thing to the best of your ability with excellence unto God, right? And I'm not trying to be deep or heavy, but what I am saying is that it begins what I do mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. What I do, I've got to begin to honor who I am and what I need first before I can pour into anyone else. That's what I'm really trying to get to. And so how do I do that? I do that, number one, by beginning to, number one, write down one, but number two, um, right? I understand what I need and what I want from my life, and then operate in that and don't deviate from what I know is the truth for me. So that's an individual thing. We are not a monolith. Everybody has different experience and have gone through different things. So whatever honoring you looks like, do that. We're not playing small no more, not this year. I'm calling spades. I'm calling people out. I'm removing people. I'm bringing new people in. I'm honoring what I need and what I want, because guess what? Everybody can't go where I'm going. And that's not a personal thing for me. I'm saying me, but that's personal for you too. And how do we meet these new people on this next level is by matriculating in our own minds. Understanding our mindset is what draws people to us. And real quick, I just want to talk about, I got about 6 tickets left to my workshop this weekend. If y'all want to support me, even if you can't make it, buy a ticket for the workshop for this weekend. I still got the discounted price of $77. I kept it there because I realize we're all going through a difficult time, but it is all about our healing. It is all about our healing. It's all about becoming better versions of ourselves. I'm kind of over wishy-washy people. I'm over, being held in the balance. I'm over dangling on somebody else's strings of personal carelessness. I'm over it. I gotta honor me before anybody else will honor me. I know y'all understand what I'm saying, because it is so vitally important to understand what you need and what you want for your life. Period. And so I want things to line up and be different for my life. So in order for me to do that, I've got to do things differently. So not only did I have to change my mindset, I had to gain some clarity around what's important to me. And not only did I have to gain clarity around what's important to me, I also had to make a conscious effort to shift. Oh, you'll buy a ticket from me, Robert. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting me. Okay, I'm gonna send you the link in the inbox. So yeah, but like we need to love ourselves more. And I know we love ourselves at a certain level. I get it. I really, really get it. I do. I get that. Robert, I'm gonna post your comment because you just blew my mind. Where do you live at, Robert? Where do you live at? I'm waiting to see. Do you live in New York though? Thank you so much. That is such a blessing to me. I cannot, whenever anybody does anything for me, I try to be like this real whole tough person, like for real. Like I got thuggish tendencies. That's how I was raised. But as I've grown, I realize that people don't have to be nice to you. And when they are nice to you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I see you live in Amityville. I was just out that way yesterday, Robert. My son just moved out that way, so I went to go visit him right after I got out of church. I went to go visit him, and he lives out that way. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. Oh, you do? Okay, okay. I like it over there. I was like, okay, this is nice. He's living in a very nice apartment complex. I was like, okay. They got dishwashers and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And he hate washing dishes, but whatever. But yeah, so yeah, but I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, one of the questions and one of the reasons why I want to do this workshop is because I know that it takes community a lot of times before we'll really tap in. And when I say tap in, I mean tap into our own healing. And one of the questions that I ask myself often is, Kim, have you truly healed? And that's why I said take the one thing, just one thing. Because when you try to do too much at once, it's like, you won't go to the gym every day, 7 days. You tell yourself that. And you don't really commit to it because it's overwhelming, right? I wish you could come. I really do, because there's going to be brothers in the building. It is, because they bought tickets. And it says women's event, but it's going to be brothers in the building. It's going to be brothers there. But it's like I have to ask myself that all the time, Kim, have you truly healed? Because I'm always trying to tap in to figure out, right, if and in fact, oh, wait a minute. Okay, hi. Okay, if and in fact I need to continue to work on that part of myself. You understand what I'm saying? If something begins to trigger me, or I feel a particular way about a thing or a person or whatever, I sometimes have to do a check-in with me. And I advise everybody, check in with yourself when you start to get frustrated, angry, aggravated, because you're around people who are not loving on you the way that you want to be loved on, right? And some of that is an expectation, but other parts of that is just like, how a person makes you feel like, period, right? If you find out after you've done the check-in that is something outside of you, and that's who the person is, you can let them go and do whatever, and you can still love yourself, but ask yourself the question, because if you want to be set free, what's really bothering you, what's really at the root, what's going on concerning you, right? Why are you angry? Why are you frustrated? Have you truly healed? Did you work through what you need to work through? Like, what's going on? And so if I find myself having some sort of anxiety or feeling a particular way, I always do a check-in. And I'll say, no, Kim, like, you might need to work on that, but the reason why you act the way that you do towards them, right, is specific. It's not everybody. It's because you see that while you will troop for them all day, every day, they will never troop for you. That's why it's bothering you. You get what I'm saying? So if I am going to stay with the posture of honoring me, then I've got to stay away from people who do not honor who I am, what I want, and what I need for my life, right? So I'm always working on, and I always talk about myself because I don't want to tell too many other people's story. They might hear me in my live and might feel offended. So I try to stick within the parameters because I'm a safe space for people. If you talk to me, I'm holding that. I'm never telling anybody stuff. But the reality of the situation is that as we're dealing with whatever the offense was, we also want to do a check-in and say, hi, Sister Martha, I love you. I love you so much. How are you? You also want to do a check-in with who you are and where you are in that, because some of that stuff has a root of bad relationships, past traumas, childhood trauma, not understanding who you are in Christ. Some of the reasons why we do the things we do. Hey, Thomas, how are you? I see you. How you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. But some of the stuff that we project onto other people is rooted in how we feel about some past trauma. And sometimes that's the case for other people, but that is not our issue. That's their issue. Our issue is to make sure that we're doing introspection, that and I said this earlier, I'm going to say it again, that we are not just hearers of the word, but also doers of the word. I will call you as soon as I get done with this live, Sister Martha. I'm going to call you as soon as I get done. I love you. So the issue for most of us that want and desire real relationship, right? The issue, or who are in relationships but they're not quite working out, the issue is to check yourself. The question would be, are you doing what God would want you to do? Are you being that person, right? And then honoring that person. And then honoring yourself according to what you know God has told you and who you know God has told you you are, right? Because that's important. And so our healing begins when we are transparent and honest, and we take responsibility and accountability for who we are and where we are. And how we get to the point of honoring ourselves is when we know that we have something going on. We diligently work on becoming better. That's another one. But then we don't let anybody else violate who we are without speaking to them or dealing with them in love, right? It's kind of hard when you first start out, but it gets easier as you go along. It gets easier as you move and you go along. Because then you start identifying in other people. You start identifying the type of person that you should engage with and the type of person you shouldn't be engaged with. Once you start to be able to identify that, that's only coming to you because now you have a little bit more clarity, and then you actually make a better partner. So somebody asked me the question over this weekend. One of my girlfriends, I said earlier in the thing, she lost her dad, and she's like a little sister to me, and I was with her almost every day last week, just supporting her and sitting with her and the family, right? Because that's what you do when you love somebody. And they asked me a question. They said, Kim, what's really going on with this man and woman? Why can't we get along? Like, talk to me. Why are we having so much difficulty in our relationship? And I said some variation of this. I said, because we don't know who we are or whose we are. Men are being more in their feminine energy, and women are more in their masculine. And women are trying to take on dual roles, and they doing all of this, and men are like, well, what about me? What about me? And it's like, wait a minute, what about you? And I'm not saying that men are not supposed to, because we have to love and support our men. We can't expect them to get along without us, because we can't get along without them. The idea is that people are confused. They're not working on themselves. They're blaming other people. They're constantly pointing outward. They're not getting into the word and trying to really, truly be doers of it. Everybody is flying by the seat of their pants and doing whatever it is that they want to do, instead of leaning in to what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves first. And then we can pour into others. It is vitally important that we stop the shenanigans and get real with ourselves. The reason why our relationships are not working is because if I don't have integrity for me, and I'm being honest, or if I don't have good character, who do I think wants to be bothered with me if every time I turn around, I'm violating somebody, I'm hurting someone, I'm doing things like it don't work like that. I know the Bible says in order to have a friend, you have to show yourself friendly, right? Like in order to have somebody in your life, act like you want somebody in your life. But you can't get there until you understand who you are and whose you are. I don't know if y'all know this. I do a prayer call Monday through Saturday, 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 9:30 in the morning on Saturdays. And men and women are on this prayer call. I've been doing this prayer call for almost 11 years now. Consistently. It's God's call. It's really not mine. I just facilitate it, right? And I promise you, I teach the practical application of because we know scripture, we know word, we innately we know the right things to do. We can quote every backwards and forwards. We know that word. We could tell you chapter and verse. But the idea is, do you apply that to your life? Do you bear fruit? And the fruit that you can bear just for this specific life is when you understand who you are and whose you are, you begin to honor yourself because your walk becomes different. That part. You're not who you used to be. Yeah, I was wild and angry as a kid, fighting anybody and do. Y'all don't even know. People who didn't know me from back in the day, thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that I'm so far removed. I ain't trying to act like, like I'm so holy. I ain't trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? I am not trying to be funny because, if you do something to my child, I might not pray for you. I'm just going to say that right now. Like I don't know what I would do. But what I am trying to say is that I've gotten better. And even though I'm not where I want to be, I'm not where I used to be. And the fruit that I bear is love. And if you would have knew me then, even 15, 20 years ago, you would have said, she questionable, she shaky. She ain't standing 10 toes down in this thing, and it's been a slow matriculation. It's a slow evolution. It's a slow transformation, but it's a transformation nonetheless. We're just trying, honestly, I need people who understand that this thing is not a sprint, it's a journey. And the reason why I'm no longer climbing mountains for people who wouldn't jump over a puddle for me is because now I understand my value and my worth. I love you. I'm going to pray for you. But I know that this is not where I'm supposed to be. And I'm honoring who I am. Soon as I see it, I'm like, okay, I'm out. And not out. Like, I don't mean to say I'm trying to leave people behind. I'm saying I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to love you. And I'm going to stand over here. That don't mean you can't call me. You understand? It doesn't mean that we can't have relationship. But I know sometimes it's even difficult to deal with family. So you don't cut your family off, right? You pray for them, you love them, and when they call you say, okay, baby, okay, and you deal with them a certain way, right? So you can't just be like, no, I'm not talking to nobody ever again. No, because sometimes God allows that to, to rub you or offend you or something, so he can smooth out some edges and some stuff in you. There are things that happen because God wants to change your posture, your heart posture, if that makes any sense. So the reason why I'm even saying all that I'm saying today is when we know who we are and whose we are, we will begin to honor ourselves. And I'm not telling you you're going to be perfect. I see you, Cheryl. Thanks for watching. I'm not telling you you're going to be perfect. I'm not telling you you're going to have it all together. I'm telling you that day by day, you're going to be changing slowly and methodically. Because that's how God got it. Because I promise you, if he did it all at once, and you would spontaneously combust. It's too much. I'm changing. But I also have a desire to change my life. I also had a desire to heal. You ever get sick and tired of being sick and tired? My mother used to say that to me all the time. She used to say that to me all the time. When you get sick and tired, that's how she answered me sometimes. She just would say, she wouldn't tell me nothing what to do. She wouldn't say what to do. She would say, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, things will change. You ever get tired of yourself? Why do I keep running the ground? Why is my heart hurting? Why do I keep meeting people who don't know how to love me? Why is it that I keep going through the same things over and over and over again? Why is it that my life continuously looks the same? Is there anybody who can love me? And the answer to that is, as it pertains to relationships, is that part of the reason why it's like that is because you have yet to love yourself. And I know people argue me down. Kim, I love myself. I love myself. Can I see the fruit? Because the fruit won't have you trying to be in the company of people who don't want to love you. That's the fruit, baby. Real talk. The fruit changes you. Come on, y'all. All right. I said I was going to do 30 minutes. I'm going to be over in them TikTok streets about 6 o'clock tonight because they be loving on me over in them TikTok streets and I'll be loving them back. I'm telling you right now, like, y'all, I'm telling you, and I'm going in. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but it's so amazing. And I'll be over there like 6 o'clock tonight because I'm going to go to the radio station. My friend Najib Smith has a radio show. I used to be on there with him, but it got a little bit much for me. Because I'm trying to build out my business and it's a little bit of a shift to my normal. But Najib is having a special guest on tonight, Dr. Guerrier. She's a young Black medical doctor, and she's going to be talking to us about different things in the African American community. She is off the chain. I met her one day when I was at the hair salon getting my good little hair done, and she is amazing. And she's going to be giving us the real deal about different things we can do. Because while she is a medical doctor, she deals with things that go on. You know, she talks to us, African American community, about things, medications, and different things that are not good for us. Most doctors don't tell you that. They tell you to take it, take whatever they prescribe, and they don't explain to you how it affects us differently. I remember, and I'm sidebarring for 2 seconds, I remember I was taking a blood pressure medicine, and I went and I told the doctor, I said, I don't like taking it because it was making me feel depressed. But I didn't know why. I was just taking it every day like I was instructed. And then one day I talked to one of my girlfriends who's a nurse, and she said, Kim, that's not good for Black people. And I was like, what do you mean it's not? She said, no. She said it affects us differently. Other people can take it, but we can't take it. And I didn't know. So I went to this other Jewish cardiologist, and he said, that's garbage. It's not going to work for you. And I went to the Jewish cardiologist because my doctor was like, oh, just take it. Just take it. I said, oh, you're not listening to me? Oh, okay. Heard you. And switched out my cardiologist just like that. Because I don't play those kind of games. If I tell you it doesn't make me feel good, then I'm not. You understand? So this young woman, this young medical doctor is going to talk to us tonight, and I'm going to meet them at the studio, is going to talk to us tonight about some holistic things that we can do in the African American community. It doesn't mean don't take your medication as as provided, but for inflammation, to take turmeric, like stuff like that. So this show tonight is going to be absolutely amazing. I'll be sitting on the sidelines. I don't know if I'm gonna be on camera, y'all. We'll see. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be on barsandhoopsradio.com. I want to go to be supportive of her because I'm the person who asked her to come. I hope y'all can join us tonight. The show starts at 8 o'clock tonight, and it's going to be pretty amazing. I really believe that. Anyway, y'all, I hope that you can get your tickets for the workshop. Now, I think I got 5 tickets left because Robert said he buying the ticket, and I'm so excited. Thank you, Robert, for that. And yeah, y'all support me. Buy tickets to I want a sold out event because this thing could get crazy for me if it's not a sold out event, right? That's money I'm just gonna be laying out of my pocket, and I don't have it like that. So yes. So yeah, I'm gonna send the link and everything, and I'm gonna post it again on my wall. I love y'all. Thank you for always being supportive of me and for loving me, for your kindness towards me. I appreciate you. Even your comments. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day, all right? All right, bye.